Hi, welcome. I'm Shelly, and I'm a over 50 Gen Xer who is facing old age. I don't know how to put it. I'm facing a lot of things, as I'm sure you guys are. I'm facing the lack of retirement. I'm facing the fact that, yeah, I'm getting older. Um, it we're just here, right? We're here. We're at that stage in our lives now. We're here. And today I wanted to talk about owning my own business. And I've owned my own business now for in 2020 May of 2027 it'll be 12 years. So 11 years, 11 and a half, if you can say half. It is August, so quite a half. Um, and as I spoke about in a previous video, due to the fact that I have worked in family business and then I started my own business and I worked odd jobs that didn't have retirement. I'm here facing 60 without retirement. Um, so I've spent years, 11 years owning my own business. It was fun to begin with. It was fun to work hard and watch it grow. I sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed a lot to make it grow. I did things that maybe I shouldn't have, as far as like I bent over backwards for customers and clients, and I would work late hours. Oh, I can't. They would say, I can't come in. Can you do it at 7 o'clock tonight or whatever? And I would just do it. I would do it. No matter how tired I was, I would go out and I would do it. I would always accommodate them. And I stuck by the theory that the customer's always right, which today in this day and age, that's not so much true. Also, as I spoke about in a previous video about McDonald's and how, the customer service there is very much lacking. But anyway, so I've owned my own business for almost 11 years. I don't have any retirement. I am looking to slowly segue out of its dog grooming business. My business is here on the farm. It's near my house. Well, it's right next to my house in a building outside. And I've thought, maybe I could sell my client list. But to be quite honest with you, my client list has dwindled over the past year. And I do believe that that has to do with the economy. I have a veterinarian friend who brings her dogs to me, and she said that the veterinarians are suffering right now. She said maybe not the big ones, like the big named ones, but she said the ones in the middle and the ones on the bottom just getting started are not making any money, and they're struggling. They don't have clients coming in. They're just not making the money that they used to. And I said, yeah, I can feel that. I feel that. Um, I'm not making the money that I used to make. I'm not having the calls that I used to get. I can go days without a phone call. The only thing that's sustaining me right now is older clients that are recurring. They come every so many weeks. So, there's a lot of trials and tribulations to owning your own business. It's not for everyone, and I don't recommend it for everyone. Um, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it. There's a lot of, um, for lack of a better term, butt kissing, because you kind of suck up to the client, and I know that sounds bad. I like all my clients, but I still suck up by doing stuff for them that I wouldn't normally do. Dang fly needs to go away. But I have quit doing that as of late because I just can't. I just cannot do it anymore. Um, so there's a lot of sacrifice to owning your own business, and then you know, on top of that, you don't have retirement. You do pay a self-employment tax, which is your Social Security. So you're paying your Social Security in, but you don't have retirement unless you go out and start your own retirement fund. And like I said, I've only been doing this for 10 years, 11 years, going to be 12 next year. And maybe I should have. Maybe I should have started some kind of a retirement plan, but I didn't. And looking back, hindsight is 2020, as we always say. And so here I am. But I was going to say, I don't recommend just anybody starting their own business. Not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody is cut out to be a business owner. Um, Even now, sometimes I wonder if I actually am. Well, I mean, I've been doing it for a while, so maybe I am, maybe I'm not. You always second guessing yourself, you know? But anyway, as I was saying, I could go for several days without the phone ringing, and actually it has all weekend. This is Sunday night that I'm recording this. And phone hasn't really rung all weekend. Now, this coming week, I went from literally I went from 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. Well, a lot of times 6 days a week. Busy from 8 a.m. till 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. I mean, busy. The phone rang nonstop. It was so bad I couldn't even think the phone was ringing so much. And that's why I had to hire somebody to help me answer the phones. And then you have to deal with other people, and they don't care about your business the way you care about your business. You've put your blood, sweat, and tears into that business. That's your baby. You've watched it grow. You want but they're just, to them it's just a job, and they don't care if they call somebody back in a timely manner. So anyway, um, I went from that to this week coming up. I have one full day. One full day. One. And I don't have anything on Tuesday. That's Monday. Don't have anything on Tuesday. I don't have anything on Wednesday. Thursday has 3 dogs. Nothing on Friday. Nothing. So, at one point when I was really busy, my husband actually wanted to quit his job and come and help me. And at the time, he was working at a job that he absolutely hated. He hated it so bad. Um, he would have, he would just start shaking because his nerves were just so bad. He hated that job. So he quit for 6 months, and he came to work with me for a while until he started to feel better. And I said, look, I said, as much as and we work together fine. I don't have a problem with my husband. He's a great, he's great. But I just told him, I said, look, you can't stay here. And the reason is XYZ. First reason is, if business slows down, we won't have any income. If I get hurt and I can't work, you're not a groomer. You bathe, you dry, but you're not the groomer. You can't, excuse me, you can't keep the business going. And thirdly, we don't have any insurance if you work with me. So those are three valid reasons. So 6 months in, he found a job that he loves, and everything is fine. But I just don't feel like two people, and it can happen and it can work. Two people cannot be entrepreneurs in the same household. Now, again, it can work if you can pay for the insurance, if you can set up your own retirement, if you can do all these things, then it is quite possible. And there are people out there that can do that. I did not have the desire to deal with all of that. At my age, I was in my late 40s when I started this business. So I just didn't, I really didn't want to do it. But luckily, he found a job that he loved, and here we are. So owning your own business is, and I may be preaching to the choir here. The people that watch me are my age or older, so I don't know that they're thinking about starting a business, but this is just me talking. Now, I have started a YouTube business, and that business is Crafty Fox Creations by Shelly, and that channel is doing okay. To be honest with you, it's doing great. Okay. I didn't start going hard at it until February, and in 4 months I was monetized. And my first month I made $260. Second month I made $360. This is the third month. I don't know what I'm going to end up making this month. And honestly, it goes up and down. And summer is usually the lowest time for money, because everybody's out doing stuff. They're not sitting in their house watching sewing videos. And that's what I do. But anyway, so we'll see how that goes. That's my little business that I am starting as a side hustle to maybe supplement my retirement in a couple of years. Because to be honest, cannot continue on. Um, I mean, I could probably groom for another 10 years if I really, really pushed it, but to be honest with you, I don't want to do that. But again, owning my own business has been a blessing and it has been a curse in both ways. I've been proud of what I built, but since that it is here on the farm in a building that I own, I can't, I could look into selling the business, but with the economy the way it is, things have tanked and I'm struggling with my business. Um, but anyway, uh, this is a channel for over 50. Anybody can watch, everybody's welcome. But mostly over 50 people will understand where I'm coming from. And it's people that are looking towards retirement, people that are looking, or maybe they're already retired, people that are struggling. And I'm glad that you're here. If you found any value in this, if you just enjoyed it, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video.